Oh. Can you hear me? So I can keep an eye on people. Oh, God almighty. All right, let's do it. And we do a little moisturize. Moisturization. Makes me young. Feel young, at least. On my knees. Oh, yeah. Then get all the grease off my hand before I touch the mouse. Oh, don't touch me there. Shut up, dumbass. Yep, here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Well, I'm on it. Yep, this is day... What day is this? I started on Monday, and I'm on it. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. What a fucking trip. And I literally mean that. You know, a trip. And for you guys out there just catching up with the show, I have gone to my doctor's appointment for mental health checkup. It was a special appointment. Doctor said that I need, you've got some kind of anxiety and OCD type thing. I'm like, that sounds right. But, you know, that's just the way I was living for a long time. So she prescribed, not Zoloft, the generic one. It's like Celatran or something like that. She said, this one won't make you gain any more weight. And I'm like, well, that's good. You know, thumbs up there. So as I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her, she's like, we'll start you on a low dose. We'll start you on 25 milligrams. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, you know, the question in the back of my head is, you know, am I allowed to have alcohol on this? And so I asked her, I'm like, hey, you know, if I watch a football game and stuff, she's like, yeah, you know, you can have 1 or 2 beers. She's like, just be careful, you know, watch it, moderate yourself. You know, everyone reacts different and everything. And the one thing she said to me, you know, as we're talking about, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. She's like, I just don't binge drink, you know, just don't do anything like that. And I went and in the back of my mind, I'm like going, Jesus Christ, I guess I can't drink a case of beer a day again or now. So Sunday was a relaxing day, and I took it first thing Sunday morning because Sunday I basically decompressed from the whole entire week. I do, you know, several different podcasts. So it's go, edit, get things loaded, back and forth, phone calls, back and forth, you know, sales calls and everything like that. Sunday, it's basically, if you need to get a hold of me, just text me. So I sit there, you know, I have breakfast with my wife's out riding her horses and stuff. So I have breakfast. I have the whole house to myself outside of my dad. And I'll make breakfast, sit in the back room, watch a show. Then lunchtime comes around, you know, have lunch and so on and so forth. But I have to take the pill, this Zoloft generic pill, same time every day, which is fine. I'm a creature of habit. I've got a whole bunch of other pills that I take, like milk thistle, magnesium, fish oil, all that stuff. I got one of those old people, you know, Monday through Friday type deal. And I put my all my swallow pills on the front, and the nighttime stuff is on my gummies. So do the big swallow and then chew my gummies while I'm making my breakfast. I don't take any pills at night other than melatonin. So my wife came in after her riding. She's like, how you feeling? I go, yeah, I'm all right. You know, it's different. It's a different feeling. It's only 25 milligrams, so I don't know if I'm just hungover from Saturday, you know, from hanging out with my wife and doing stuff and drinking beer and doing things on the property here. I don't know if I very rarely get a hangover anymore because I'm a trained professional. I know what my limits are. I know exactly to that point before I tip over type deal. yeah, so Sunday was fine. The real test was going to be on Monday, because Monday morning I have a live group here in the studio. And I took my pill in the morning, and at 9 o'clock we went on the air, and holy Jesus. Am I talking loud? Am I talking loud? Am I talking loud? Am I talking fast? Am I talking slow? Hey, what did you mean by this? What did you mean by that? You know, I'm sitting there. And the guy that we had a special guest here in the studio, and he's like going, well, you know, it's kind of, he just couldn't keep up the pace. And I was like, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it. You know, hey, am I talking loud? Am I talking loud? You have a question? You ever seen, what's the one show with Chris Kattan? What? If you're watching me on the YouTube video, and I got done with the show and shook everyone's hand and walked out, or walked everyone out of the studio, and my wife works from home, and we have this is the studio that we have here on the property. She's like, how'd the show go? I'm like, holy Jesus. She's like, what's wrong? I go, I could not shut up. I don't know if you can tell now. I mean, I'm on, this is day 5, day 6 of me being on it. She's like, well, I mean, it takes some getting used to. It's kind of like, you know, you have to build up a little bit of a tolerance. You have to get it in your system and let it work in your system and all that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're saying that. Are you saying it? Yeah, I agree. I understand. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. She's like, would you get away from me? I said, well, let me go do my walk now. Because Monday we start so early, I can't do my 4-mile walk until after everyone leaves the studio. So I do my 4-mile walk and I come back and I sit down. Now, here's the test. I have to now edit Monday's show. From if you're watching this on the YouTube video, that show, that green one behind me, the horse show. So I'm like, well, let's see what happens now. Because I took it at 8 o'clock in the morning. Show was at 9. Now I do my walk and all that stuff. I'm back in the studio by 1 p.m. I'm like, it should wear off by then, right? So I crack one of these open. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it gets deeper. You're like going, you're not supposed to drink on that. Yeah, I found out the hard way. So I sit down and start editing and everything. And, I have my regular consumption of beers. And let me just tell you, I'm like drinking beer after beer. I'm like, is there any alcohol in these things? If you're on that train, and this is day one of me working on this drug. If you're on that train, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm editing and doing all this stuff, and I go down to get another beer, come back up, and I'm like, well, I keep going down to get a beer. Let me grab 2. Grab 2 and stick them here. By the end of the night, by 7 o'clock p.m., I had everything done. Everything done. Which is a rarity. Normally it takes a lot longer for me to edit the audio and edit the video. It's a long podcasting, platform and stuff that I have to do. Everything was fucking done. Except for one thing. I had to wait for one thing to render, but that's all right. I pushed that over to the next day anyways. It's no big deal. But normally I have to play catch up all the time. 6:30, 6:45, I was done with everything. I was like, holy shit. Go downstairs. I'm all done. She's like, my wife's like, really? Yeah, I guess so. Gonna watch the Magic game or whatever's on TV. She's like, okay. I woke up the next morning. Holy fucking hell. I have not had, and I say a hangover. I've had some bad hangovers, growing up in high school and, keg parties and all that stuff. This was not a hangover. This was just my body, like I would sit there and my brain would literally not create thoughts. And I'm standing there. This is Tuesday morning now. My wife's gone to work, so I have the house to myself outside of my dad. And I'm standing there going, the fuck happened last night? So I go out to the kitchen. Well, I do my walk. It takes about an hour and 10 minutes to do my walk. Come back in. It's 8:30 now. And I take all my pills again. And I wait for the next one to kick in. So I'll tell you what happened when the next one kicked in when we go back. So stick around. I'll be right back. my wife and I have been watching a new show, just happenstance type show. It's got Rob Lowe, who's stooped low enough to do this show. It's called The Floor. And the way it came to be was my wife came home Tuesday night, and I was recouping from Monday's debacle, and I'm wide awake. I took my pill, and I'll get into that here in just one sec. And she's like, "Oh, you're up." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'll have dinner, and we can watch some, like a show or something." I said, "Yeah, we'll watch something simple." I said, "Why don't we watch this thing called The Floor?" It's a basic show. We've watched all of Big Brother. I don't think Survivor started yet. We're up to date on Landman. We've been watching that. Great show. We've finished Tulsa Salsa Dorito King. And I can't watch the other shows that she has because I pick them apart. So I said, let's try this show, The Floor. It's simple. If we like it, we like it. We don't. I did not realize how cool this show is. If you haven't seen it, it's a great show. Basically, there's 100 spots on the floor, and everyone's got their own little square, and they all have their own thing that they're a professional at or know the knowledge of. For example, one guy's, I know everything about ancient Egypt. I know everything about this and everything about that. And you're like going, all right, so how does the show work? They basically challenge each other. So if I'm standing on podcasts and my square comes up and there's 4 people around me and they have like car parts, Disney, something and something else, crochet and, fast food. I get to pick out of those 4 people around me and challenge them to their topic and see if I know more than them. And it's just literally a picture show. They show a picture up there, and you have to go, let's say it's fast food. They throw a hamburger up there, you basically go, hamburger. They throw fries up there, next person goes, fries. And if you mess up, they give you a 3-second penalty before they give you the next picture. And then it gets, it dives in deeper and dives in deeper. But it's all visual. And it's so relaxing because I'll just sit there and I'll be like, hamburger, chocolate shake, whatever it is. This show is awesome. If you just want to sit there, granted, if you want to get high as fuck and watch that show, you can. But I don't know if you're going to last long because I'm on this, this generic Zola. And, I'm like spitting them out. So day 2 of me taking this pill. My wife enjoyed the show, by the way, the Floor show. So we've been watching it. We're on like episode 7 or something. So I'm on day 2 of taking, actually day 3 in the real world, day 3. And I look at as I'm sitting here battling, I've got a headache. My fingers are trembling. I'm a little nauseous, kind of like the same effects of what a hangover would be. But I don't know. So I'm looking up the side effects of this drug that I'm on. And if you were ever to see the drug itself, the pill, if you're watching this on a YouTube video, see the head. I can't even show you how small it is. See the head of my pen here? Not the whole fucking thing. That little piece right there on the end. It's that big. It literally is all. If I was to drop it on the floor, I'd lose it. It's a fucking fleck of a pill. And then it's got the audacity to have a line in the middle where you have to break it in half. Oh, I can't take the whole 25 milligrams. I'll snap it in half and fucking lose it in my fucking fat fingers and stuff. So I take the pill on Tuesday, trying to battle, shake off the cobwebs from the night before because I didn't realize that this drug was that powerful enough, that small drug was powerful enough for me to just not, I had every side effect. Nausea, blurred vision. One of the things is like suicidal thoughts. I'm like, great. But, so I'm sitting there and going through day 2 of this stuff, and we're watching The Floor, and I did all right. I just couldn't tell if my hangover was, like I said, a hangover, normal hangover, because I went downstairs and I looked in the refrigerator and I did, tally, the night before you do like inventory control. 23 fucking beers between 1 and 7:30 because I wrapped it up. 7:30. I would say that's not normal. I can, not that I'm bragging. Yeah, beer crusher. I have had, a whole case, but over a 12-hour period. This is 6 hours. So I have to now backtrack a little bit. That's why if you're watching me on the video, I've got one in my hand right now. But I now have to learn how to mediate my content as far as what I'm bringing in. So that's day 2. Day 3, well, Wednesday, the next day, I'll dive into that story and what's been going on here lately on the property. So stick around. I'll be right back. One of the things that I read about this drug that I'm on, I'm only going to be on it for 30 days. Because my doctor said that she wants to check after 30 days. She wants to check like my electrolytes or something like that. So I'm like, what? What do you mean electrolytes? She just kind of signed off and said, here, check this, and we'll, see you in 30 days. See how you feel. See if you need more. See if you need less. No, I need less. No, I say that, but. So Wednesday, I do the horse show on Monday. Then it was recovery time on Tuesday because I was like blitzed out of my mind by the end of the day. I mean, I don't know if you get into this situation, if if you're dealing with, substance and stuff to get through your day and stuff. Not that I'm abusing anything, but I know exactly what I'm doing at every single time. At every moment, I know exactly what I'm doing. So, like, the next day, I'm like going, did I do that? And I look in my notes and stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, everything's taken care of. Way to go. Inebriated Trav did very well. So Wednesday comes around, and this is the next part of the Pill Audition. My wife goes, how you feeling? And I go, okay, I'm fine. I'm getting used to it. I was looking up some like stats on the actual drug itself. How long does it stay in your body? And, they always say if you're going to get off your meds, let the doctor know and they'll kind of wean you off the meds. Well, that makes me kind of scared. And it said, one of the things that I read was half of the pill or half of the whatever that's in the drug, the Zoloft, the generic Zoloft, is out of your body within 26 hours. So that means now I'm amping up another day and I've got another pill coming right behind the one that I just took, the day before. So it's that constant, I guess they're trying to keep you, if you're watching me on the video here, I'm doing like this snake waving in the air. They're trying to keep you on this level. My problem was I had to get either down to that level or up to that level with the first dose. The first dose was crazy. I was not happy with it. But I stuck with it, and I did the entertainment show that I do. If you're watching this on the YouTube video, I did that one and did it. Normally, I'll have a couple drinks and stuff, just calm my nerves or get my thoughts right in my head. Took the pill, didn't, no alcohol, no nothing. Just took the pill, did the show, and I realized that my thoughts, because I have to read a lot of articles and stuff, my thoughts and my focus was on what I was physically looking at doing the show. I would read the article, I give a comment or two, and then I go on to the next article. In reality, what normally happens is I have a snarky remark, some kind of ad lib, some kind of observation about the article and stuff. And then I'm kind of like, making the article entertaining for the most part, instead of just sitting there and reading news articles and stuff. So I thought about that when I was done with the entertainment show for that Wednesday. Of course, they have to turn around and start editing. Of course, grab a couple of these. Watched myself this time. Want to polish off a whole case of beer in 4 hours. And I watched myself and monitored myself and got everything done. Again, Everything was done the same day instead of it working a day and a half to get things done. So the next morning, wake up, my wife goes off to work, and I go for my 4-mile walk. Now, here's where it gets interesting, because as I'm walking, I listen to a couple podcasts. Friends of mine down over Orlando, they're broadcasting out of there. As I'm holding this beer in my hand, hold on, let me get this out of here. I listen to them because I like the hometown spirit and everything, and they talk about stuff, being at home and stuff, and I kind of miss Orlando, but we are in Charlotte, North Carolina now. And as I'm listening, a month ago, Travis, in my mind as I'm listening to them, as they're commenting on stuff, I would almost do like a show with them in my head. When they say something, in my mind, I'd come up with a funny comment or whatever. And it was constantly rapid fire. Bing, 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 bing. Now that I'm on this new medication, I'm literally just listening to the show. My mind does not wander. My mind does not create content in my head. My mind does not make funny jokes in my head. I'm actually listening to them, laughing, and enjoying the show that I'm listening to, whatever the show is. And I told my wife this. She's like, well, that's good. I go, no, it's not good. She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, the first thing that I asked my doctor, is this going to affect the way I do my work? Because I have to be on point. I have to be, opinionated. I have to create ideas. I have to create content. I have to, blah, 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 blah. She said, no, you'll be more focused. Okay. Obviously, you haven't listened to the show before. And I told my wife, I said, I feel like I'm losing my personality. And my wife goes, that was your problem. You had all these quote unquote voices in your head, and not like murder everyone. No, not like that. But I would constantly run it would be a show, radio show or whatever. I've been doing this for so long. It's just common for me to sit there and go, well, they could have said this, they could have tweaked this. And, the commercial break was too long there, and back and forth, just because that's the field that I'm in. And now it's at the point where I'm like, I don't even think about the technical aspect of the show that I'm listening to. She's like, that's good. I go, no, it's not good, because I don't want to lose my flair. I don't want to lose the personality that has made me, the millions of dollars that I make doing this show. She's like, yeah, but think about your health, babe. I said, I know. I said, my dad this week, I literally, hey, can you help me do something? Sure, Dad, what you need? Normal Trav, a month ago, Trav would go, Dad, I'm too busy. I got shit to do. I got to do this. I got to do that. Maybe when I get back. Oh, okay. And now it's kind of like, hey, did you see the game the other night? Oh, yeah, I saw the game. Yeah, what'd you think? Oh. So everything's kind of slowed down. And that's the only thing I'm really worried about, is losing my personality as far as what I do here. I say I do this for entertainment. I do this show, This is 50 show, for me, to get things out, to, it's my release instead of going to therapy. I've told you a million times. If you listen to this and you can learn from it, great. If you don't listen to it, well, of course, you're not hearing my voice, and you can go fuck off for all I care. But there are people out there that are turning 50. And, all my high school friends, of course, are now turning 50. I'm 51. I'll be 50. Actually, you know what? I'll be 52 January 6th. I know. Renegade Day. But I just worry about losing that edge. But I'm doing all right. Today is Friday. I think now I'm realizing the effects of the effects of the drug. Why am I dizzy? Why am my fingers shaking? Why is this? Oh, because I'm on this medication now. It's gotten better. It's not as as bad as it was on day one when I took it and then, pounded a case of beer after that. Day two, relaxed, took the pill, kind of literally felt the effects of the pill mentally as I'm talking to people. Wednesday, did a show completely on the pill only. Realized that I didn't really have a whole lot of content in my speech and my dialogue, in my monologue. No dialogue. It's a one-man show. In my monologue about the news articles and stuff that I was talking about. And now on Thursday, realizing I might be losing myself, might be losing my edge, my personality. And now here we are today, and I'm good. So it's that I'm coming up the top of that wave. And it'll be interesting because now I got to regulate. My wife said to me, she's like, well, you didn't drink any beer today. I go, oh, no, I did. And this was Thursday night. Yeah, I watched the Magic game. I drank a couple beers and stuff. She's like, really? I go, yeah. She's like, I can't tell. I go, I know. That's the sad part. That's the scary part. I said, but I only drank, I think, 10 beers. Only 10. On a night that I would normally drink, anywhere from 18 to 20 beers. She's like, well, that's good. You're not as hammered. I said, no, because the effects of the pill that I'm taking, I'm realizing that I don't need as much to quiet the conversations in my head. And that sounds so psychotic. You got voices in your head. I told my wife, I constantly have a radio show, whether it's music, whether it's something going on in my head all the time. And now she's realizing it, after, coming up on 11 years of marriage, she's realizing that. And that's why she said, you need to get some help. So there you go. I got a lot more to talk about. I'll get off the pill talk here for a little bit, but just get a little update of where I'm coming from and what's going on with me. I'm full steam right now. As far as, I'm on it. I'm on it right now. Can you tell? Am I talking fast? Am I talking fast? Am I talking loud? Am I talking loud? All right. When we come back, I had a little family scare, but we worked through it, and I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. So I'm still not on social media, so you're not going to be able to find me on Facebook or anything. But I say social media, the metaverse. I'm still not on it. And I don't think I'm going to get back on it. I'll see what happens after the whole 180-day ban that was issued to me because some guy got a hold of my Instagram account and, Russian Nazis or whatever, and I got banned. Everything got banned. Everything got shut down. So I'm enjoying watching TikToks. I'm a little bit nicer on TikTok, except for a couple of people. I'm like going, Jesus Christ, do some more drugs. So yeah, if you want to follow us, it's Be Podcast Famous over on TikTok, and you can see all the different shows and stuff that I do, and you can see this show all the time. We have a YouTube channel at This Is 50 Show, so enjoy that as well. Please. I beg you. No, we got about almost 1,000 followers over there. So if you want to join that and see me here in the studio struggle, not struggle, but you can see what's going on. So I was listening or watching TikTok, and there's a Matthew McConaughey story that was bouncing around as far as, him making a tuna fish sandwich. I don't know if you've seen it before. I like a good tuna fish sandwich. I do albacore and a tablespoon of mayonnaise, maybe 2 tablespoons of mustard, brown mustard, spicy mustard, doesn't matter. Lightly lightly toasted bread, a little salt and pepper, and then that's it. It's perfect. I do the mustard because I don't need a whole lot of calories in the mayonnaise. So instead of doing 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, I kind of cut it with the mustard. Matthew McConaughey gave his rendition of what he makes, his tuna fish sandwich. And, he talks about, he's not making it. He's got his fucking chef making it. It's, all right. You take your tuna fish sandwich or your tuna fish. I can't do a McConaughey, but, and then one of the things that he puts in there was wasabi. And Bert Kreischer just friggin' shit himself. I would never thought about doing wasabi in there. He's a fucking hack. That guy. The machine, fuck him. I won't fucking challenge him anywhere. But I said, ooh, though, wasabi on a tuna fish sandwich. And I was like, man, I like sushi. I like a little wasabi on my sushi. Why wouldn't I like wasabi on my tuna fish sandwich? So, because we live out in the fucking middle of nowhere, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Nashville. Population about 2,500 people. We have a Food Line. That's the closest grocery store is 10 miles away. It's called Food Line. And in my opinion, they're a disgrace. They take advantage of this because it's a blue collar area. You know, it's a bunch of cornfields and chicken farms. We have a horse farm here, so we're doing good. They take advantage of EBT, you know, the government funding, because that's all they gear their ads to EBT people. So I walk in there and I'm like going, hey man, you know, Kinkelman's, you know, that makes a soy sauce. Do you guys carry a wasabi? They make a wasabi in a jar, not a jar, but a squirt bottle, like a little mustard thing. Oh, I don't know, sir. If it was here, it'd be right in this area right here. I'm like, all right. So I'm looking around. He's like, you might see it before I do. I'm like, dude, you fucking work here. Oh, here it is. Never mind. I got it. So I get it. It's like $2, $3 or whatever. And I throw a Finsky at the cashier and I walk out the door and keep the change. You need a receipt? No, I'm good. So I've been using wasabi on my tuna fish sandwiches because I like to have a good tuna fish sandwich. But it was so good because I was doing like hot sauce on it, like normal, like Louisiana hot sauce. Wasabi amps up the game on that. And my wife goes, what are you doing with the wasabi? I said, babe, just taste it. I'm not, no. She takes a bite and she goes, we're going to have to buy more wasabi. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's awesome. And here in the studio, because I spend long hours here in the studio, let me show you this if you're watching this on the video. Ignore the container, but inside here is wasabi almonds from, I don't know, like Blue Diamond or something like that. They are fucking awesome. This is just a container. I just keep filling it up over and over and over again. But I've been eating almonds, but now the wasabi, oh my God, it's so fucking good. So good. You should try it. Highly recommend it. My dad gets a call from his sister-in-law. And how do I handle this story? Jesus Christ. So my dad's the oldest of three. He has a brother. His name's Paul. And then he's got a younger sister named Alta. Yeah, Alta. As kids growing up, we couldn't say Alta, so we all said Aunt Bunny. So she's Aunt Bunny. His brother, my dad's brother, along with my dad, both have lived a rough rock and roll lifestyle. My uncle, my dad's brother, more than my dad. Because my mom kept my dad in check. The uncle, my dad's brother, on the other hand, there was nothing for him to have a whole thing of, Black Label in his vehicle at any given time. Drunk. Anyways, rough life, bad choices in life. Married someone, I don't know her background. Actually, I do know her background. Her family, bad choices in life. So it's a combination, 1-2 punch. They had 2 kids, my cousins. One's my age, one's a little younger. And my dad's brother's wife, his sister-in-law, through years of, her occupation was an ER nurse. For whatever reason, I never saw her working. And for whatever reason, she was always, quote unquote, on call. And when my mom passed away, they were down in Florida before I could get there. And after the funeral and stuff, I had to come back up here to North Carolina, take care of some business, and then I had to drive back down. In the process of me going back down, they put my dad in the hospital. His oxygen levels were way low. They were way low. He had to go in the hospital. They basically got him out of the house for like a week. I'm sure while they ransacked the house. I'm not going to put it past them. I'm going to call a spade a spade. They probably went through my mom's jewelry, took all the good jewelry and stuff. I'm just saying that. I don't know if it's for a fact, but they're shady people. Fuck them. So fast forward to the phone call we get on Thursday or Wednesday night. My dad comes out of his room and says, hey, Uncle Paul's in the hospital with pneumonia. Well, that's not good when you're, 70 some odd years old. People, pneumonia is the death, the slow death grip that puts on people of a certain age. I said, okay, Dad, what do you want to do? You want to go there? You want to go see him? You want to fly? This is we talk. You want to go see him? You want to go fly? I'll drive right now. We'll get in a car right now. All this stuff. He's like, well, I don't know what's going on. I said, Dad, find out what's going on. I said, we can fly there. We can be there in 3 hours. And my dad will not fly. There was a incident he had many years ago as a crop duster. He was riding with some friend of his. They almost crashed or something. He said, I'll never fly again. North Carolina boys. He's like, well, how long does it take to get there? I said, well, where they live is 4 hours away, but the hospital that they're at is another 4 hours away because he had, I don't know, whatever the fuck's wrong with him, Uncle Paul. I don't know. All right. I said, well, just let me know. And I fall asleep, wake up the next morning. Groundhog Day. I'm like, what the fuck happened last night? My wife goes, find out if Uncle Paul is still around or needs help or whatever. I said, oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one thing about the pill. It erases your memory when you go to bed. So I asked my dad, I don't know what's going on. Come to find out, he's fine. Uncle Paul's fine. My aunt just, spaz. Everything's bad. Everything's level 10. One of those people. Everything's level 10. Oh, you got a splinter? Oh, we got to get you in the emergency room. Oh, you got a cough? Oh, we got to get you in the emergency room. It's that type of, I don't want to say trashy redneck people, but not for nothing. They take advantage of the system and the government, and that's probably why they live the way they do, and they have bills, medical bills on top of medical bills piled up because every time someone farts or shits or something like that, they got to go to the hospital and take advantage of whatever it is because they don't have health insurance and yada yada yada. So he's the next morning he's like going, no, he's up in bed talking, and I'm like going, well, great. Do you need to go see him? Nah, he's okay. All right. But do you ever have people in your life like that are just like level 10 all the time? And it's the worst case scenario. It's always like the plane's going down, the boat's sinking. And you're just like, calm down. Hey, let's assess the situation. Instead of just snapping, and throwing people in places they don't need to be. I'm sure my dad didn't need to go to the hospital. He thinks he did. But, when you have a medical person who's not really a medical person, who pretends to be a medical person to tell you that you need to go to the hospital because something's wrong, you kind of, for the most part, believe them, I guess, for the most part. When we come back, I went to Walmart today. Yes, my favorite place, Walmart. And I was I'm on the pill, so I just want to give you my 2 cents as far as how I approached my new Walmart experience being on this new drug. So stick around, I'll be right back. One of the things that I read as far as, the directions on this new drug, and if you're just joining us, the new drug that I'm on for my mental health, quote unquote, mental health, for my OCD, this is what I don't understand. It's OCD, anxiety, depression, and like 2 other things. It's like a spectrum. It's just broad brush that they're painting with. And it's Zoloft, but it's not the, it's generic. It's the generic Zoloft that I'm on. She said it'll I won't gain as much weight. Actually, she said, you won't gain as much weight on this one as you would on regular Zoloft. And I go, well, good. I don't need to gain as much weight. I guarantee I'm going to lose a little bit because I'm not pounding, 24 pack of beer in a day. I'll do half of that. So there goes my calorie count there. One of the things that it said as I'm reading it before going into, diving into this product, taking it for the first time, says, be careful of alcohol. It could intense the symptoms of the pill. Be careful. Don't eat this. If you can't take ibuprofen, can't take niacin, not niacin. What's Aleve? NSAID or something like NCI. I don't know what it's called. But on the opposite, I can take Tylenol. Well, Tylenol is just as bad as friggin' Advil with taking this pill. It could cause stomach bleeds, 4% higher if you take Advil and this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, nausea, vomiting, shitting blood out your eyes, those type side effects. And then it says, don't take caffeine. Don't drink any caffeine. It could intensify the product, the pill. Don't drink alcohol, depressant. Don't drink caffeine, stimulant. Do me a favor. Don't do anything at all on this pill. Well, no wonder everyone's walking around like a fucking zombie. Like I'm sitting here, no voices on my head anymore. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but for the most part, I guess for now, we'll figure out 30 days later. And then, of course, this is the kind of drug that if you drink grapefruit juice, that's the pill talking, neutralizes everything, just kills everything. You go back to ground zero. What the hell kind of thing is in grapefruit juice that just neutralizes it, just kills it right off? You're having a good time? Yay, all right, margarita, what's this, grapefruit? Oh, I'm ready to go home, I'm bored. It doesn't make any sense. But I guess there's an enzyme in grapefruit juice that kind of neutralizes a lot of medication out there, and this is one of them that I'm on. I know my father-in-law who passed away was not allowed to drink it at all, and he was on like diabetes medicine and all that. But yeah, so no alcohol, no caffeine. Well, just freaking kill me. Oh no, that's a suicidal thought. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, no, I'm fine. I didn't think that way. I didn't mean to do that. Have you ever thought about suicide? Yeah, because you told me I couldn't have alcohol and caffeine. That's why I don't want to do this anymore. You're watching me on the video here. I'm writing down my script here. I was so... It's getting to be Christmas time. I said getting to be. It's next week. And I wrap presents up here in the studio because I can get away and have all the presents up here. And I got a little table over here. Those new to the program, it's an 800 square foot studio. We have the main console and everything here. And we got, more and more back there. Watch the shows. They're pretty good. So I got a little privacy up here. So normally when I wrap presents, my wife even says, oh God, I told her I used every single inch of every single roll of paper that we had. And what that means back in the early days, pre-disposal of this pill, I would literally, this thing doesn't cover all the way, grab another piece of wrapping paper and then finish it all. So everything would look like patchwork. All the presents look like patchwork. But guess what? Had no scraps. I used the whole entire thing all the way up until it was completely exhausted. As far as like the inventory here we go. As far as the Christmas wrapping paper. So I told my wife this time on the pill, I wrapped all the presents. And I said, I used all the old paper that we had before I opened up the new one. She's like, oh, great. It's all going to be all messed up and stuff. I said, you know what, babe? It's not. Because I'll tell you what, I can physically, mentally, I was listening to one of the talk shows that I listened to. And I was not laser focused, but I never second guessed anything that I was doing. I didn't get frustrated. I'm like, I need a piece of paper. Oh, this one's not going to fit. I put that one away and actually start a new roll and cut this open. And I wrapped it. I still can't wrap worth shit. I fold everything over and the corners are all bubbled out. But I didn't have to piecemeal the packages together. I said, and I was all done wrapping. I go, hey, you know what? I did pretty good. Not a whole lot of scrap, because I was focused on what I was doing rather than my mind was elsewhere as I'm wrapping something just to keep my hands busy. Wrapping presents and stuff, keeping my hands busy. So the presents turned out good. There was no piecemeal or anything for the packages. So I'm kind of proud of myself. My wife says, actually, when I asked my wife or told my wife, I said, I don't know if it's me or the pill. And she said to me, you'll know it when it happens. And that's two things that's happened. Not really getting upset at my dad at a normal thing I would freaking fly off the handle on. And two, I was really focused on wrapping the presents to make sure I did a good job. I was in no rush. I had a good time. Had a couple beers in moderation, and presents turned out good. And I go, yeah, they turned out pretty good. She's like, good. It's thoughts. It's steps, baby steps. I still don't want to lose my personality, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. I went to Walmart, my favorite place. Speaking of losing my personality. And for once in a long time, I was nice. I was nice to everybody. Not like, hey, man, it's okay. It's groovy, man. No, it was a nice experience. And this is, mind you, I almost said Halloween. Christmas is next Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Fuck if I don't know. Walmart was packed. My Walmart was packed. And I didn't bother me one bit. Not stressed out. People like walking halfway, stopping and not doing anything. Just kind of walk around them. Oh, you're going to stop here? I'll just walk right around you and keep going. You're not going to affect my day. Everything's nice and smooth. Granted, I'm on the pill. I'm not. It's early in the morning, Trav. You don't need to have a beer early in the morning. But still, my pill was coming in, it was fading in, and it was keeping me mellow, it was keeping me calm. I didn't have any anxiety. I didn't have any interactions with anyone. Actually, I take that back. I had one interaction with someone, and it was at the end of my trip, at the end of my going down through all the different aisles, and starting in the back and snaking my way all the way down to the produce up front. And I was looking at lobster tails to see what the size of lobster tails they have and what a 4 ounce looks like and an 8 ounce looks like. And I kept hearing, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. And I'm like looking around. I'm halfway in the freezer. And I'm like, am I in the way of someone? I'm so sorry. Is my shopping cart in the way? I'm sorry. And that was my mindset. And I close the refrigerator and there's this huge fucking black guy. Now I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1", 6'2", 275 pounds. This guy was fucking huge. He was bigger than me. And I go, yeah, what's up, man? I like your socks. I'm like, you like my socks? I go, you like these? Yeah, man. He's like, we love, and let me show you if you're watching this on the camera here. Hold on. Real quick, ready? They have little dachshunds on them. Dachshunds, whatever. They're compression socks. Yeah, we love those kind of dogs, man. He's like, my wife and I, we're trying to buy a couple of them, because we really like them. I really like your socks. And I go, oh, yeah. He's like, do you have any? I go, no. I said, Shane. I didn't tell him Shane. I didn't dive into the story. But Shane, at the beginning of this, the whole podcast and stuff, he's got dachshunds. And I said, no, a buddy of mine has them. I said, but me, my wife bought a pack. They're random, designs on them. It was just, happenstance, luck of the draw type deal. Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. Those socks are really cool. I'm like, all right, dude. Okay. Happy holidays. All right, see you later. Kind of walked around. I was like going, I felt good about that conversation. It was good. I didn't have it in my mind. I had nothing bad internally to say about them. I didn't want to make fun of them, that they were walking around in sweatpants and friggin' Nighttime, his wife had like pajama bottoms on. They had like night clothes on in the middle of the afternoon, and I didn't want to say anything, as I'm telling you now. She had, slippers on with bunny ears on top of them or something. They weren't dressed to be out in public for whatever reason, but I didn't want to say anything. But hey, there you go. I took it. I handled it. Everything was nice. Everything was good. And this is the end of the week. I still have tomorrow. Well, I'm going to be on this for 30 days. I'm doing good. I'm doing better than I was. I'm doing better than I was on Monday. I'm starting to see me being less stressful about this. I'm starting to see that I'm not as anxious about certain things. There was a time many years ago. No, there would be a point where I would get mad about my dad putting fingerprints all over the stainless steel refrigerator. Now, I don't care. Not that I don't care. It doesn't. That's the least of my worries now. And my worry count right now is pretty low. It's pretty low. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you thanking you. Thank you for listening to me work. Excuse me. Let's try this again. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening to me work through all this stuff. Okay. See you. Bye.